All right, this is going to be a final project for the CMIT 220 class. My name is James, and I'm going to be showing people how to create a trust between two separate forests that are in two separate domains on two separate domain controllers. In this case, these domain controllers are virtual machines that are side by side, but they could just as easily be in different cities, states, or even countries. So the first thing I'm going to do here is bring up Server Manager, and I am going to go into Properties. This first part of the video is kind of some background on what you would need to do to get ready for the trust. So if you're not really interested in that, or you've already got Active Directory and DNS set up, you're welcome to skip it. But for now, we're going to change the computer name. And in this case, I'm going to name it Server 1 and JC for my initials. I'm going to leave it in the workgroup area for right now. That will get changed as we move forward. It's going to let us know that we have to restart for things to apply. Not a problem. I'm going to tell it I want to restart later though. And I'm going to minimize that, bring up my command prompt here. A little bit of something we need to do once we get Active Directory installed. When we go to promote it, the administrator account has to have a password and it has to be required. Kind of a quirky thing, but that's the way Microsoft did it. Given that this is an educational environment, I'm really not that concerned with someone seeing what I have for a password here. Obviously, in the real world, you might want to do it with no one looking over your shoulder. If you were to stop right here, doing net user, whatever the username is, in this case administrator, you could change a password right there, assuming you had permissions to do so. But we also need to do /password REQ:yes. And as we can see, I mistyped that, which is not that big of a deal. Delete the extra W, command completed successfully. So at this point on this server here, I'm going to type shutdown, force, restart, time, 0, 1. Now the switches I'm using, that'll mean in 1 second from when I hit enter, that will happen. While that's doing its thing, I'm going to come over here and basically do almost the exact same thing to this other server, except that we're going to change it to server 2 JC. And as before, it will tell us that it will need to restart, and I'm going to tell it I want to do it later. Bring up the command prompt, net user administrator, and what I want for a password. Again, password, I have to type it right, REQ:yes, and completed successfully. Shutdown, F for force, -R for restart, -T for how long it will wait, 0, 1 for 1 second. So at that point, we're going to go back over here, and I'm going to send Control-Alt-Delete over. Now we see that the administrator account wants a password. So I will type that in, and we will go from there. From this point, Server Manager will pop up by itself, and I'm going to bring that up, manage, add roles and features. And I'm going to skip this beginning part. That way we don't have to see it if we want to add stuff in the future. Role-based features, that's what I want. Let's go into that IP address. In this case, we want Active Directory domain services, and we want DNS server, add features. Next. And I'm going to keep the defaults here. Just next our way through things. And I'm not going to tell it to restart. I already know it's going to do it. And right now it's doing its own thing. I'm going to jump over to the other server, and this is all just going to be the same thing over here. Give it a minute for that to come up on its own. And maximize it, manage. Sometimes it can take a minute to do its thing again. It's the first time I've done that, so we'll check that little box to role-based feature. It's going to that address. We want Active Directory domain services. And we want, actually cancel, I think I hit the wrong one. No, I didn't. DNS server, add. Next, our way through this, and install. And once this gets going, as you'll be able to see when I jump back over to this one, you can click close, and it won't really matter. Now we've got a notification here. Promote this server to a domain controller. We're going to, in this case, add a domain controller to an existing domain. That's not what we want to do. We want a new forest. So I'm a fan of crocheting and of television, so we'll see that here in a minute. And .prv because it's a private server. So crochet in my initials. It's going to take a minute here for that to jump forward. Now we need to give it a password here so it's able to restore things. You want this to most likely be different from the passwords you're using for your account, but you also want it to be something you can remember. And it says here a delegation for DNS cannot be created. Well, that's fine. It's going to pull up the NetBIOS name. And while that's thinking about it, I'm going to come over here, close this out, and get started on promoting this one. And it's going to be a forest, but in the case of this one, I'm going to call it media in my initials .prv. Go to next. And just like before, we have to give it a password so that we're able to recover things. And next. Again, it's not really able to create anything. Let's come back over here, crochet JC. There's the NetBIOS name. For the first one, I'm going to hit next. And here it's just showing me where it's going to keep these things. I'm all set with the defaults. This is kind of an overview of what's happening. Now it's going to perform a prerequisite check. Jump over here, it gave it media JC. And there's default locations. Review everything, make sure we've got it the way we want it. And that one's going to start prerequisite checks. Now this passed all the prerequisites. Had I not set that password for the administrator account and required it, we'd have a problem here. So we're going to hit install over here. And I'm going to hit install on the other server. And I'm going to pause the video here because this can take a while. Once these reboot, I'll come back. And this is a screen that you're going to see after the computer restarts. It's going to take a little while to apply these settings. This video is starting to approach the 9-minute mark, so I'm actually going to create part 2 for this, where I'll show you how to set up Active Directory, forward and reverse zones, and set up your DNS. So I will see you in the next video.